Hello and welcome to the next instalment of Business Accelerators. I'm Jackson Hewitt from Business Spectator. Today we're talking to Linda and Matt Becker from Coffs Coast Physio. They've been working with Stuart Lindsay from Picture Partners on how they can improve their business.
I know, Matt and Linda, when we were there, you were just in the process of implementing electronic customer database, so to cut down on sort of the admin time of the physios. Has that happened yet?
No, it hasn't. As we just touched on, we've had a very busy 3 months since you were here, and being down a physio, we just haven't been able to do that because it would be Matt and the other physios that would have to probably go to another clinic to see how that all works, to start learning it and then implement it from there. So it would have to do it when it does quieten down a little bit.
That's good because, yeah, obviously one of the keys here is just cutting down on the admin time of the professionals so that they can spend more time with the clients directly. Because your utilisation is quite high, up around 90-odd%, it means that you don't have as much time for business development activities. So, allocating the time and saying, right, we're going to put aside half a day a week or whatever to go out and develop new business, I think that might be an important step.
Certainly also with our new physio, he's going to get involved with the team also, whether it be through winter or through the upcoming summer. And Sam's very keen to get involved in the sports scene around town. That will also tend to increase our exposure with new clients coming into the clinic, which will be very positive.
Stuart, what are some of the best practice things you can do to leverage your client base, possibly to get your way into some corporations so you can drive some new business?
I'd be looking at who your existing client base are, and you might find, if you ask around where they're working, you might be able to find inroads into new organisations. There may also be some health insurers in the region who may subsidise your service into corporates. So there's a couple of different things that you can try, but I'd be looking at who you have relationships with at the moment and how you can leverage those. That's
right. Yeah, I mean, there's already staff coming in from the council and some other big corporates in town, so it's definitely a great idea.
Yeah, and consider also, I know you sponsor quite a few of the local sporting clubs. What other corporations are involved in those sponsorships as well, and can you talk to them?
So Matt, I understand that the rugby team you sponsor, the one that you work with on Saturdays, the Marlins, is unfortunately out of contention for the final, so you've got your Saturdays back. One of the things that Stuart talked about was you guys possibly opening on Saturdays to make more use of your facility there. Have you thought more about that?
Yeah, we've always thought about opening on Saturdays. And we did open on Saturdays for quite some time. Probably about 2.5 years ago, I used to do Saturday mornings. And it was quite successful. When we took on our third physio like 2.5 years ago, the need of that sort of just reduced significantly. We sort of tended to be able to fit most of our clients, bar maybe one every now and then, would ask for a Saturday. Certainly going forward, Saturday opening would be an option. And, when you look at the return on a Saturday morning, it's quite a favourable return. So, yeah, we're certainly going to be discussing that in the near future. More.
There's a couple of points there, Matt. And you're right in that, as you stated, only one client asked for a Saturday appointment, but we don't know what percentage of other clients we're missing out on completely because we don't offer a Saturday. And one of the other points too, for any business that operates 5 days a week, even if you're open 24 hours a day for those 5 days, being closed Saturday and Sunday, 29% of your rent is being paid for a facility that's closed. So to get the best out of our overheads, if we can, for any business that operates that a 5 day a week business, if you can think how can we get 7 days a week, and even on those days 6 and 7, as long as we're covering our variable costs, perhaps our labour, the heating, the air conditioning, etc., then we're contributing towards paying the rent for those days.
Certainly my experience in the past has been if you open, you'll generally do okay. You'll fill 60% of your slots for that morning if you open on a Saturday morning, as long as people become more aware of the fact that you're open. So I have no doubt if we opened on a Saturday that it would certainly make very positive income. Yeah.
Is once the Marlins finish the home and away season, do you then just reclaim the weekends for family time, or do you then contribute that time into the business and open up on a Saturday?
Yep. Yeah, and that's
That's the question.
it's an interesting question. I think certainly from Linda's point of view, more family time would be far more prioritised. But certainly from a business point of view, you know, if our numbers continue to grow, particularly with a new onset of a physio here, if his numbers continue to grow, I could see Saturday morning becoming a more prominent issue, without a doubt.
Stuart, do you think that that's a really great way to market your company too, because it shows that you're very service oriented with your clients, and also maybe to test new demand in the market?
Absolutely. Two good points, Jackson. Yes, there are clients out there that you may feed into that perhaps your competitors aren't currently reaching, or that customers who do want these services but can't get to you between Monday to Friday. Oh yes, and absolutely with these things, you know, don't commit to it for 12, 18 months and go down that path, you know, doggedly. If after 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you know, it's not gaining the traction in the market, then absolutely say, you know, we tried it, perhaps it's not working for us this time, but it's not to say we won't try it again in the future.
Certainly there's no other physio in Coffs Harbour that opens on Saturday mornings, and there wasn't when I was doing it 2.5 years ago either. So it certainly is a market that's probably relatively untested in this town.
And one of the things that we talked about with you a few weeks back was the idea that as the population gets older, they require a little bit more maintenance, for instance. It might be a great way for Matt and Linda and Coffs Coast Physio to pick up some new clients, perhaps some older clients who need a bit of help with some aches and pains.
Yes, definitely. The ageing population that we have does create different and new needs in the medical field. So a way of tapping into those markets is an absolute must.
Is that a product, your mix of clients and customers there, Linda and Matt, are they more on the sports physio side, or are you finding that people who are older are coming in looking for some of that maintenance?
We've had, in regards to aged care, we've had quite a few elderly clients in this clinic, purely because we have, like, one arm of our clinic here involves an aged care facilities. We used to look after 3 aged care facilities, now we look after 2 aged care facilities with a physio off-site. And so certainly our elderly profile has been quite good in Coffs Harbour. Currently we probably have maybe 10% of elderly probably through the clinic. The majority of people through the clinic would be a mixture of both sporting and probably between the ages of, say, 16 and 50.
Well, that could be a great ongoing source of income, because if it comes through insurance or through Medicare and there's a system through that, that can be a stable source of revenue that you know you're going to have every week, week in, week out, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I don't know what definition of elderly customers Matt has, but 10%, you know, we certainly know that the older population in Australia is much greater than 10%. So obviously the business is skewed more towards the sporting, the younger athletes at the moment, but tapping into that older market is a great opportunity.
One other advantage of having a more elderly clientele, or a reasonable percentage, is that their ability to turn up to the clinic not in peak times necessarily, like after school or before school. So it's a more of a through the day type clientele, which is very positive for driving, you know, those numbers through the day.
Definitely.
And it really is, in some ways, an underrepresented market. The boomer generation, as they get older, they are looking out for things which are tailored to them, aren't they?
Absolutely. And if you can make them feel comfortable in the environment and not intimidated, then they'll enjoy it even more.
That's right. We try and make them feel very comfortable here.
That's great. Well, listen, Matt and Linda, that's all the time we have, I'm afraid, for today. But thank you so much for your time. It sounds like you've got a great business going there at Coffs Coast Physio. So we hope that some of Stuart's recommendations come in handy for you, and we wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much.